On the Hunt, AI and the job search as a scavenger hunt hosted by these lovely people you see here on your screen today. Feel free to, bring your lunch, grab some water, get comfortable, and we'll hang out for about an hour. You may notice that cameras and microphones are turned off so we can focus on the presentation and the questions being asked here today. However, we do absolutely encourage you to use the chat feature to engage, network, ask questions, etc. We're also going to have poll questions that are going to pop up throughout the event on your screen, so definitely look out for those and be prepared to answer some questions. All attendees here today will be automatically entered into a drawing for SNHU swag for this event. A winner will be selected at random after the session ends, and the winner will be announced in the event chat. For security and legal reasons, please note that participants' use of any AI tool during this event, including Read AI or Otter AI, is prohibited. SNHU is dedicated to inclusive meeting experiences. If you would like to enable live captions, you can select the three dots at the top of the Microsoft Teams window to expand the More menu, and you can then choose language and speech and then click Show Live Options. Show Live Captions. Captions will show on your screen as we are speaking during the session. We're also presenting using PowerPoint Live, which means that you can click any hyperlinks that are actually on the slides. You're able to click into those. PowerPoint Live also provides additional accessibility options. You can select the three dots at the bottom of the presentation slides, which will bring up a magnifying glass, which will let you zoom in or zoom out on the slides. There's also an option to view them in high contrast, or you can translate the slide text into a preferred language. These features are only available and will only affect your individual experience and not the overall presentation. So please feel free to use the options at your discretion. Individuals with accessibility needs requiring accommodations may reach out to. If you're an online student, it's oac@snhu.edu, or you can call 866-305-9430. If you're a campus student, it's cac@snhu.edu, or you can call 603-644-3118. If you are SNHU staff or faculty, you can click on the link for the employee ADA accommodations or scan the QR code. Requests for CART or live ASL interpreting requires at least 3 weeks of advance notice. I would also encourage you to click on the links available in this slide to connect with SNHU Career Services. It is a lifetime benefit, which is a hint for an answer coming later on in the quiz there in the session here today. And we are available on a lot of different social media platforms, including Career 360, which we'll be discussing here today. So absolutely connect with us, reach out with us. We would love to talk with you. I also want to review your hosts for the day. So me, myself, I'm an employee relations partner here with SNHU. I'm also joined by Sonia, if you want to say hi really quick.
Hello.
And Jen, do you want to say hi?
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Perfect. You're welcome to add any of us in the chat, or you can add Kendall or Elisa in the chat as well. We're all here to help you out and answer questions today.
All right. Thanks, Daisy. Welcome to On the Hunt, everyone. We're so excited to have you here today as we wrap up Liberal Arts Week on the Hunt. We're about to get started, so let's walk you through what to expect today. We want you all to enjoy your lunchtime with us. Some of you will be here to observe, others to eat and learn, while others will participate with the festivities. Whichever you are, we're just happy to have you here today. To get started, On the Hunt was created to achieve two distinct purposes. First, to familiarize you with Career 360, which is our online student virtual career center. And second, to introduce you to our new AI pages. And that's going to guide you on how to leverage artificial intelligence for career success. Now, while this will be a fun scavenger hunt, it will not be a trivial pursuit. It is actually the pursuit of transformational knowledge that can change the way that you approach your job search in the age of AI. So this is a fun-filled learning experience where you will be on the hunt for answers to questions we ask by navigating the Career 360 pages. Now, the questions will come up on screen and you can select your answer immediately, or you can take 30 seconds to go on the hunt for the answer. And we're going to make things easy There will be a hint light bulb that you'll see as shown here on the screen where you say need a hint. Click here. You can click that. All of the links on these slides are going to be clickable because, as Daisy mentioned, we are in PowerPoint Live. And so there'll be a variety of live links, such as the one here on screen called Leverage Artificial Intelligence for AI for Career Success. So this is going to take you to the pages where that hint exists, okay? Once time is up, our host, Jennifer, will reveal the correct answers and move on to the next question. There's no leaderboard or graded assessments, so it's okay to guess here. Just have fun. And you can include your answers in the polls on screen or chime in the chat. We just ask that you be professional. Finally, if you have questions along the way, post them in the career chat where our subject matter experts, Elisa and Kendall, and some of our career services team will be there on hand to answer some of your questions. But we will also answer questions at the end. They're also going to be posting some links, as Kendall has put here, to some pages that you can bookmark for ongoing use. Now, we're going to get started by starting our tour of Career 360 AI pages, and we're going to start on the homepage. But do pay close attention to what I'm going to be showing and saying so that you can see, because these are kind of going to be some hints of places that you can go to find some answers to these questions. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's go on the hunt. I'm going to take you on a tour. This is Career 360. So I'm not sure how many of you have actually been on this page, but it is a great place for you to bookmark. And again, we have those in the chat with Kendall and Elisa posting. So here in Career 360, it is our online virtual career center. And you can go and you can look at our different main menus here at the top. And over here under Build Career Skills, if you go down to selections, you're going to find our Leverage Artificial Intelligence for Career Success. Sound familiar? That was on the screen before. So again, it'll be on the screen as clickable and it will take you here. So when you're going on the hunt for all of these AI related questions, here's where you want to be. All right, as you scroll down on the page, you're going to see various information as it pertains to AI in your job search, how to utilize AI for career development. You'll see some video resources that are done by our professional staff here on Career Services Advising. And then we go into some definitions over what Gen AI is, large language models, such as some of the ones we're going to see in a minute, but the benefits and limitations of using AI tools for your job search, utilizing the role play feature in LinkedIn Learning, which you can have a click here and click here, by the way, is free to you if you utilize your snhu.edu email address. You can have full access to their suite of different courses. But how to use generative AI effectively, prompt engineering. We even have an engineering prompt library in here. These are some of the popular large language models that you're probably familiar with. I do want to point your attention over to these carets that look like the greater than symbol. If you were to click on those, they're going to reveal information about whatever topic you're seeing. So the topics typically will be bolded, and then you can click that caret to get more information. And what this is really showing you is that these large language models actually have different utility, which is why you want to get familiarized with all of them, because they're going to be good for different purposes. For example, Claude is designed for accuracy and safety. It provides thoughtful career insights. Google Gemini is going to be strong, analyzing trends and career paths. Latimer is going to champion diverse histories and amplify underrepresented voices. And Copilot is going to be the best for a technical portfolio if that is your particular major. Now we talk about our prompt library, which is really wonderful. You're going to find some wonderful information as you learn more about utilizing the tools, utilizing them for resumes, cover letters, portfolios, and understanding how HR is utilizing this as well. So I'm not going to, if I click this, is going to change the whole page. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and I'm going to open these up in other browsers, okay, so that we can stay on the main page. But for example, If you click into this page, this is one of our AI support pages, which is going to introduce you to utilizing generative AI for career paths, right? And for goal exploration. We talk about the PATH method, right? So PATH is an acronym. And so this is where you can find information about the PATH method. You can also watch a wonderful video that was put together by one of our career advisors. And you don't have to do all of that today, but again, you can bookmark this for future use. And then going back to our other page, where you can learn more about how to utilize AI for resumes, cover letters, portfolio review, and optimization for keywords. You can do that here. We also have a extensive prompt library that you can utilize, so you can go through that as well. And then finally, we talked about how HR is utilizing it and how you might want to take that into consideration, because HR is looking at social media. They are looking at the things that you're posting. So there are some prompts you can have here as well. Again, when you click on the carrots, it will reveal the information even down to your very program. So this is Career 360. And as you continue to go down on the main AI page, it's going to tell you some information about our career services team, because we are here and our services are free and lifelong to all of our students and alumni for those of you who will be graduating. You can also go across the hero menu where you'll be able to see additional information. And of course, at the very bottom, information on how to connect with our career services team, either by phone, email, or on our social media platforms. So hopefully you are paying attention to all of these things, because these are hints on how to get to those answers. So now, without further ado, let's get to the fun stuff. We're going to go ahead and turn this back over to our special host, the amazing Jennifer Langley.
I really appreciate you being such a good hype girl, Sonia. Hi, everybody. I am so happy to be here with my employer relations teammates, career advisors, and of course, all of you. As you see, my name is Jennifer Langley. I am a career advisor here at Southern New Hampshire University for our global campus. And here I play a role where I support students and connect you to your degrees in the workforce. That might mean exploring career paths, changing careers, building resumes, preparing for interviews, and a whole lot more. One of the most important parts of my roles is to make sure I'm using the best possible resources to support our learners, which is you. And that's where Career 360 comes in. I like to think of it as the one-stop shop for career support. So on this slide, you're going to see a screenshot of Career 360 after we move out of my face. Thank you. All right, so here is Career 360. You can go ahead and click on it. It's going to take you directly to our Career 360 landing page so that you can follow along with me. We're going to do a short guided activity to explore some of our favorite features as career advisors on this platform. So as you saw Sonia do, you can start exploring those white drop-down menu tabs. And as you click through the different sections, you're going to notice a variety of tools and resources that are available to our students, you guys. But for us, our first question of today's scavenger hunt is, if you and I are on a call together and I asked you to navigate your way to the Leveraging AI for Career Success tab, where would you look? Take a moment, explore the menu options, and when the poll appears, you can select the answer that reflects where you think you might find that page. So if you see that poll popping up, you can take a guess on where you think we might find the AI page. Oh, awesome. Okay, starting to see, ooh, overwhelming responses. You guys are good. Awesome. So I think we have almost all of our votes in, and you guys are correct. We are at the Build Career Skills tab. And if you follow along on your computer, you can hop into that AI screen with us, because that's where we're going to spend the rest of our time. So awesome. I'm gonna sorry, just bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna pull my poll down. Okay, awesome. So now that we're on our AI page, let's talk about something we often discuss with our students, which is the benefits of using AI in the career search process. AI can be a powerful tool when used thoughtfully. As you explore this section of the platform, I'd like you to consider the following question. Which of these choices do you think is not a benefit of using AI tools in your career development? So take a moment, look through, click through things. When you see that poll pop up, go ahead and select what you believe to be the right answer. So we're looking for which of the following is not a benefit of using AI tools in your career development. And bear with me, I keep forgetting that I have to vote before I can see you guys voting. Oh, awesome. Okay. Y'all are doing really great with these today. So our correct answer reveal, we have 90% in, so I say we can do our answer reveal. Guaranteed employment is our correct answer here. So while AI helps to help us work smarter, not harder, more efficiently, refine resumes, help you prepare for interviews, research companies, it doesn't guarantee a job. It's a powerful support tool, but it doesn't do the job of career advising support, replacing strategies, networking, or personal effort. So we love AI for the benefits it brings us, which you see up on your screen: accessibility, time saving, idea generation, building in-demand skills, and personal insights. These are all things that we love to do with our learners when we work together using AI for your career journey. All right. As you work with a career advisor, you might hear us talk not only about the benefits of AI, but also its limitations. AI is a helpful tool, but it's important to use it thoughtfully and responsibly. So as you see this poll pop up, here is the next question we have for you. Which of the following is a limitation of using AI tools in career development that we might discuss with you? So which of the following is a limitation of using AI tools in career development that we may discuss with you? So you can take a guess when you see that poll pop up. You guys are so fast in the voting. I love it. All right, we're at almost 90%, so I think that we can do our answer reveal. So if you selected all of the above, you would be correct. AI can be helpful, but it does have some limitations. Those limitations include losing your unique voice. It's important to think critically about AI if you use it in your job search. We want to make sure that you're not losing out on accuracy, that you are not experiencing any type of bias in your responses. Obviously, definitely data privacy risks. We always work with our students to remove any type of personal information from any document or chat that you may be using. And employer restrictions. Some companies explicitly are prohibiting AI generated application materials. So we like to look through those job application guidelines with our students first. Awesome. Okay, next question. In career services, we love a good role play, and we are big fans of mock interviews. Practice builds confidence. So on our Career 360 page, we highlight several great features available through LinkedIn, including the role play interview tool. So with that poll pop up, take a guess at which of the following would not be a benefit of using the LinkedIn role play feature. So you can go ahead and click on the Learn More box if you want to explore the feature. If you want to vote, hop in on that poll. I keep forgetting that I have to vote too, sorry. I can't wait to see my score. I just keep clicking on things to make it go through and definitely not getting them right. Awesome. All right, so we're getting a lot of responses in. I'm gonna X out of this so that I can walk through the response with you. So our answer reveal is generalized feedback. So the LinkedIn role play feature actually provides you with specific tailored feedback based on the responses you give during those simulations. So it can evaluate those answers in context and offer you targeted actionable suggestions for improvement. Because feedback is personalized rather than broad or generic, generalized feedback would not be a benefit of this tool. So we really love interactive tools because they allow our students to practice in a safe space while also getting those meaningful, constructive feedback sessions that help you improve. All right, for my liberal arts people, we have a true or false question today. So even if you're not a graphic design student, many verticals have portfolios. I think everybody should have one, but that's a whole other presentation. So our portfolio, if you're a graphic designer, STEM student, whatever it is that you are creating a portfolio for, is it meant to showcase your skills in creativity and technical ability? So would it be perfectly ethical to have AI create your online portfolio of work? What do you think? True or false? Are we having AI create your online portfolio of work? And when you see that poll pop up, please feel free to vote. Wow, awesome. This one came in really fast, you guys. Great job. So our answer reveal would be false, definitely. We want to use AI with you guys as a helpful brainstorming and editing tool, but having AI generate the work in your portfolio is going to misrepresent your abilities. And those things show up in interviews or even worse, first days on the job, right? So in these creative fields, especially, authenticity and integrity do matter. Employers want to see what you can do, not what a tool can generate for you. So it supports your process, but it shouldn't replace your original work in a professional portfolio. All right. Oh, awesome. Another true or false question. So our next question, when we use responsible AI, it can be helpful editing assistant while maintaining authenticity and integrity. As a, I'm so sorry. Bear with me, you guys. My screen just froze. All right. So true or false? If I have written an original creative post, I'm so sorry, bear with me 1 second. I have to X out of here. My screen just froze. If I have written an original creative project, it is okay for me to have AI check for grammatical errors and recommend ways to improve your project. Do you think that is a good way to use AI tools? We can go ahead and start putting in those votes. All right, I think we're ready for an answer reveal. So our correct answer is true. So if the work is originally yours, using AI as a tool for proofreading, grammar, etc., suggestions for clarity, completely appropriate. We use this tool with our students and show you how to use it, and we'll use it with you together in this manner. So in that case, it's more supporting your work, not replacing it. And that's the key difference here is ownership and intent. You created the content. AI is simply helping you refine and strengthen it. So great job with that one. And hopping into our next one. Oh, look, my screen came back. Lovely. Context is key when using AI effectively and strategically in your career development. So here's our next true or false question. Hopefully that poll popped up for you guys. Providing context like details from your resume is an effective prompting tip when using AI. So take a moment to think about it and pop your answer in that poll, true or false. Oh, and it's letting me vote again. Fantastic. Wow, 100% already done. Awesome job, everybody. So the answer is true. Providing clear context helps AI generate stronger, more personalized results. And when you include those details from your resume, such as experience, skills, or the type of role you're looking for, the output becomes more relevant and aligned with your career goals, which is something that we love to do with our learners as well. The more specific and thoughtful your prompt is, the better the response is going to be, which again is another favorite way that I like to use AI with students. All right, another true or false question. You should always include your personal information in your prompt when using AI tools to create professional documents. I may have chatted about that earlier. You should always include your personal information when using AI to prompt your professional documents. Yep, spot on, 100%. Everybody has this right. The correct answer is absolutely false. Well, adding context is really helpful. You guys should never include personal or sensitive information in prompts, okay? Not your address, not your phone number, student ID, social security number, all of those things, we keep them professional, general, and remove them all together. So I have a folder in my computer actually where all of my documents have no names or personal information in them at all. So that way, when I use them in my prompt library, I don't have to worry about that. But AI can help you draft and refine those professional documents, but you definitely want to add those personal details in later. That's something I usually do with my students, like at the very end. So we definitely do not want to be putting in any type of personal information. So be specific, provide context, but don't include that personal information. You can ask follow-up questions, and if the response isn't right, that's when we work to adjust our prompt, not add in more personal information, because it will ask you. You use ChatGPT, it will ask you those questions, which again can be really easy to accidentally answer and put personal information in. So moving on to our next slide. All right. As career advisors, we love to go over a great framework for planning and navigating successful career paths. We also love acronyms. So our next question is, with this poll pop-up, can you take a guess at what the acronym PATH method stands for? So PATH, PATH. And you can go ahead when that poll pops up and take a guess. I definitely did not guess correct. We're all over the place on this one, you guys. Awesome. All right. I think we can do an answer reveal here. You guys are really great with guessing, however. So the correct answer, I just learned this too, is position, aspiration, traits, and skills, and then the H stands for hurdles. So it's a method that helps you clearly define where you are now, so that position, where you want to go, your career aspirations, what skills you're going to bring to that, which would be those traits and skill sets, and then the challenges that you may face as a career searcher, which is where that hurdle comes in. That was one that we did not go over prior to this, or before I entered into this committee. So I always enjoy learning a good acronym. Definitely skills that I use, but always enjoy learning a good acronym. I still remember PEMDAS. There's some other great ones. All right, next question before I go way off the rails here. True or false? Career services expires after you graduate. When you see that poll pop up, true or false? Does career services expire when you graduate? Awesome. Oh, these come in so fast. I love this poll. Awesome. All right, I think we can do a reveal this time, you guys. I definitely did well with this one. So career services is a lifelong resource for you. So it's false. it doesn't expire when you graduate. It's actually how I got my job here at Career Services was, well, Sanu in general was my career advisor. I went through 3 jobs with him and ended up working here as an alumni. So Sanu Career Services is a lifelong resource for you. Even after you graduate, like I did, you can call up and lean on us for support, guidance. Career 360 is one of those tools, job networks, and professional growth.
Thank you, Jen, for leading us through the quiz portion. That was super fun. I still hesitated on a couple of the questions because I feel like I should know the answer and I still sometimes overthink it. Awesome job. Thank you very much. What I would like to do now is invite anyone who has any questions about the presentation or the content that we've shared or discussions about AI in general. You're welcome to put them in the chat and we can go ahead and try and answer them. If you'd prefer to, you can also click on the raise hand feature. It should be at the top of your Teams window. And if you want to raise your hand and come off your mic, I can give you mic access so you can actually go ahead and ask your question to the group here. See, I will stop sharing so we can see our faces as we talk. And I do have a couple questions that I would love to get us started with. One that came through, Sonia, for you, which I thought was a really interesting question, is what inspired this topic today? What about this presentation did you want to discuss? And can you share any real world examples related to this AI topic?
Oh, absolutely. And so, as we know, AI is inundating every aspect of work and life, period. We've been utilizing it since Siri, since some of the earlier GPSs. So that's one of the things. AI is definitely, as you can see through our AI pages here on Career 360, is inundated in different areas of our job search, whether it's from the HR perspective and how they're evaluating candidates, from candidates themselves and how they're showing up for interviews, how they're preparing for interviews, how they're preparing their actual documents for interviews. And so it's very important to be able to articulate your skill set. AI is not going anywhere. It's here to stay. So how do we walk our students through that? This is how. We have a wonderful team of career advisors, employer relations partners, as well as internship coordinators who have come together to put together this AI prompt library. This is the relevancy of this topic to our students as prospective candidates and also in your workplace, not just understanding how to utilize it in your job search and how to leverage it, as Jen mentioned, to leverage it to articulate your value proposition to your prospective employer, but also how do you leverage it once you get on the job? And so it's important for people to be able to, first of all, know that this, our students know, and alumni know that this prompt library is here for you so that you are able to go on the hunt for the information that you need to know. Key terms are still going to be important, but we don't want you copying and pasting what the AI comes up with. We want you to be able to articulate it in a way that's going to resonate with employers. That is the relevancy of this topic. And then also knowing that Career 360 exists, not just for AI, but also for other affinity groups and other jobs and internship opportunities. So again, as mentioned at the very beginning, this topic is critical to your career development. It is critical to how you're articulating yourself. And it's also very important to know that we are here to support you as a team here in Career Services.
I love that. Yeah, using the tools that you have and have available and using them powerfully and to their best is a benefit to you. Great answer. We had a question come in about the AI library. So Hannah or Lisa or Kendall, if you guys don't mind just dropping that link in the chat again. It is a resource that, as we mentioned, I think it would be fantastic if you were able to bookmark it and refer back to it as you go through your job search, as you work with your career advisor. There's lots of different ways that you can use it. Another question came in, and really, I'd be happy if either one of you answered it. Maybe Jen, if you want to put on your career advisor hat and start. But can AI help identify fraudulent job offers?
I saw this question and I loved it. So if a student were to ask me this question, what I would probably do is say, like, obviously I want to definitely chat with you. Like, why do you think this job may be, fraudulent? Why are you questioning it? So definitely kind of helping you take a look at the website that you're using and the job offer that you're looking at. But I have to be honest with you, I would probably say, let's plug it into ChatGPT and see if ChatGPT can pick up any fraudulent characters or words or signals, and you'd be surprised at the answers that you get. It would point out anything that may be, not usual in a job description or job posting. But I have to say, I would probably use AI with you to see if it could answer that question.
I completely agree, and I think that my perspective on AI is often that the human element of AI is the most powerful element. So if you are at the point where
Mm-hmm.
you are questioning something, why are you
Yep.
questioning it? Let's talk about that. Great answer. Anything to add, Sonia?
Yes, absolutely. And I was gonna say something similar to you, but I mean, if you're at the point of an offer, that means that you've already gone through the interview process, right? So that is the thing to do, is to go back to the individual who has interviewed you. If you think that you're getting an offer that is fraudulent, just reach back out to the team, the talent acquisition team that has been recruiting you, just to verify if there is a specific offer. And typically, what they're going to do is they're going to call you anyway to extend an offer to you, and then they'll follow up with an email. So, those are some of the ways that you can validate that. I would be questioning an offer if I didn't hear back from the recruiter or hiring manager first. So, yeah, I would definitely look at the human element of that.
No, that's a
Yeah,
great
and for
point. Going back
descriptions
around.
too, right? Like for job descriptions too. I definitely had learners reach out and say, is this real? Does this look real? So that is a way too, adding on to what Sonia and Daisy said, that we could use AI together and kind of, follow the cookie trail, I guess, the crumb trail of, why do we think that? Where are you seeing this job description and job posting? And again, we can use AI to kind of pull through some of those, some of the language.
You can have it cited sources as well. So whenever you're
Yep.
getting information, not just in a job search, but any information that you're utilizing
Hmm.
AI for, you want to ask it, cite your source. Where are you getting this information from? So you can also put in the URL for that, to find out, because if it's fraudulent, more than likely other candidates are going to start to flood the internet. These large language models go out and they scrub all of this as they're getting this is general knowledge, right? So they'll start to put it in, and if there's trend in the data, it's going to come up, that this is a company that has been questionable in the past, or maybe they have lawsuits or something like that. So I would certainly ask it to check its sources as well. Great
Awesome. Great.
question.
Yeah, great question and great
Great
tips too.
question.
Sonia, I'd like to ask this next question to you. So Connor is asking if we can, I guess like the royal we, can use AI for speed and efficiency for technical jobs like in STEM, as long as we double check the work before the finalization of the job task.
Well, kind of, I would say that it's okay to utilize AI contextually, right, with the job. However, if you're a coder, then it would be good for you to create the code, and then put it in and see if the code is correct, right? Um, I don't advocate for you utilizing the AI to write the code for you, unless you are a coder where you then conversely, if you're doing a prompt for the code, than to conversely go in and double check the code. There has to be checks and balances in what you're putting together. It can make your job more efficient. So even earlier, I was talking about when you write something. Oh, I think it was one of the questions, Jen, that you came up with when we were talking about, is it okay for it to write something for you? No, do the work first. Do the work
Yep.
first and then run it by the AI. Use it as I always say, use your AI as your ally, not a lie. So you don't want to misrepresent yourself if you are doing this. I think that there are also some security concerns, cybersecurity concerns. So you definitely want to make sure that you're checking the accuracy and validity of that and also making sure that there's no malicious code. That's what I would state to you, Connor, is do the work first, check it, and then recheck it. Continue to ask what is the source, how are they getting this information, etc.
I
I
love
hope
that.
that helps.
I think so. Great answer. I'll ask this next one to either of you, and it's actually not even really a question, but Elisa made a really great point in the chat about it's really powerful if you assign a role to AI, such as telling the AI like you're a job recruiter or you are
Yep.
a headhunter, whatever the case may be. Can anyone expand on that as a suggestion?
Yeah. Did you want to go, Jen, or you mind if I
Yeah,
go?
I mean, some of my favorite prompts are, act like a career advisor, act like an academic advisor, act like a job searcher, act like an interviewer. So when I'm working with students, rather than having them take the role of the interviewee, I will have AI generate some stuff as the interviewer, right? Like kind of getting in the headspace of what that organization or what that person, what that department, what that job is going to be asking its candidates and kind of getting in the mindset. That is where AI has really helped me a lot when it comes to mock interviews. We tend to come up with questions and based on behavior situations that we think are going to be asked of our students, right? But AI has kind of taught me how to put you guys in the place of the person asking the questions. And for me, that's like now I really am immersed in this information and in this role and in this company. So that's kind of how I like to use it.
I have nothing else to say. That was so perfect. That was perfectly said. Yes.
Mic
Tell
drop.
it who he is. Tell it who it is.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah.
I do. I love that. Then actually, Sonia, I'd like to ask a question for you that's come in, and let's see. So if I summarize this question, I think it's a really great one because it's basically asking how do you use AI for things like a resume or a cover letter, but not have it sound like AI. So are there any tips for using it but being able to still maintain your personal voice?
Yeah, I think that's important, and that's the good thing about AI. It has the ability to adapt, right? So you can tell it, and even defining who it is helps. That's a good question right off of what we were just talking about. So you can definitely have it give it a voice. You wrote your resume, right? So again, it kind of goes back to Connor's question. You're going to be the originator of that information. So contextually, you want to put in the non personal identification identifiers, right, of your resume. You can feed that portion in. You can do have it put in the job description itself and then compare how do my skills match up to this particular job. It kind of can play the role of an ATS, right? So I think it's important once you get what we call the output or what it's telling you after you ask it to compare your resume with that job description, read through that, read through what it's saying. You can even have it rewrite and restructure your resume and then download that, read it, and then give it your voice because there might be things in your experience that you have not talked about. You may even want to put your LinkedIn profile up there because you might have more in your LinkedIn profile. That would be the way that I would make sure that it's your voice. It may not 100% be you because it's pulling from a large amount of information, right? But to personalize it, put in your data, not your personal identifiers, put in your experience, put in that job description. How do I match up? How would you create my resume for this job? Take that, read it, and then fine tune it and give it your voice from there. It always starts with you, the human element, because no one can beat you being you, not even AI.
Are there
And
any prompt?
even saying like I do this with my students too, um I am applying for an entry level role, right? So telling AI, like Sonia said, the level of experience that you have, because again, you don't want to misrepresent yourself in an interview. So oftentimes I'll say, I am a novice resume writer applying for an entry level job. Do you have any suggestions for some phrases or sentence starters that I can use? So again, just like literally telling AI what you want it to do at the level you need the support with. I'm also big on restrictions too. I'll say do not do X, Y, and Z. Do not add, do not, but telling it what to do,
Yes.
but also what not to do is really powerful too.
Mhm.
I love that. That's so true because it has predictive analytics, right? So
Yep.
it might just
Yep.
automatically add things from the job description that you don't have experience with, and you don't
Yep.
want that because you don't want to miss. That's really good, Jen, because you don't want to misrepresent your skill set. You don't want it
Yeah.
adding things just because it's on the job description if you don't have it. That's the importance of reading it, that output once you get it, because then you go, oh no, I don't have this. Let me remove that thing off of my resume. And so I love that you would even say, do not add to this. Do not add to
Yes.
my experience.
Yep.
Only add based upon what I have provided you. I think that's
In my
brilliant.
words only. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Absolutely. I even like to have fun with it, use it as like a no strings attached playground. So I have, for instance, found a job that was like CEO of Disney, right? And I've played with ChatGPT to make my resume as if I was going to apply for the CEO of Disney because there's no strings attached. I can have fun. I can learn how much it did
Yeah.
invent information, which was a
Right.
lot,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
take that to a more slightly realistic usage of ChatGPT because apparently the CEO position of Disney is not open anytime soon. So I definitely recommend just like, yeah, just have fun with it. Just play around with it.
Oh. And
Yeah.
also identifying skill gaps, right? Like that's my favorite
That's
area of
good.
all time is identifying skills gaps because we have so many amazing resources on Career 360, like LinkedIn Learning, where you can fill in some of those skills gaps that you have that have been identified through using AI and your career advisor. Now we're having these conversations about, well, you don't have this, but guess how you could get it this weekend? Like to just, filling in those gaps.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that you brought up Career 360 because we also have that gain experience,
Shameless
right?
plug.
This
Yeah,
is what this is about. It goes back to that
yeah.
first question. What was the point of this? But it's true
Your
because
weekend
we also,
bestie.
yeah,
Yep,
we also have that gain experience from Forge. These are literal simulations
yes,
that real companies, Visa, PwC, I mean, all these different companies have these real world experiences, guys, that you all can log onto Career 360. You can search for those experiences, click on them, learn more. They're 2 to 3 hour experiences where you're working on real case studies for real businesses, and then they're going to
yep,
give you the feedback. Now, guess what? If you go to an interview for PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, or one of these other companies, you can actually talk about that. I
yep.
participated in a simulation through Forge where I worked on this particular case study, la 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 la. So it's a great way to fill in those gaps. I love that, Jen.
My fave.
We love our jobs. We love it.
Yes.
I'm gonna be-
Well, actually, I was wondering too, because I think what started this conversation was, gosh, what was it? Having like maintaining
Sorry,
your
I took it off
voice.
into skills gaps.
I
Sorry.
mentioned Disney. It's fine. It happens. But
Yeah.
ADD, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah,
It
yes,
works though, because I
yes.
have it.
So going back to the original question, it was talking about resumes and cover letters in your own voice. And I'm
Mhm.
wondering, Sonia, you have mentioned the prompts library as well. So would that also be a good way, a good time to use the prompt library potentially?
Absolutely. But whatever prompting they get, and whatever they do, whether they use that prompt library or if it's something that they're thinking about just from their own mind and kind of ideating themselves, it's always important to, at the end of whatever you get, read, 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 read that output so that you make sure that you're not just going, okay, it did the job for me. Now let's go up and apply. And now you get an interview and they're in an interview asking you about some skill set that you said on your resume. And you're like, that's on my resume? You don't want that to happen.
Who knew I was the CEO of Disney at one point in time? Perfect.
I had no
So
idea.
I'm also wondering, Sonia, because there's been some discussion in the chat about kind of going back again to like the fraudulent jobs and like scammers and whatnot. So we've
Mhm.
definitely recommended not sharing your personal information with any sort of AI model. But can you give us a bit of context as to the why? Like, why does it matter that you should or should not share personal information with any AI model?
You know, every time you interact and engage with AI, you are training it. So anything you put into AI, it becomes a part of what they call knowledge. Knowledge is infinite. And so if you are habitually and continually putting your personal identificating identifiers in your address, your phone number, your name, it's associating that. And think about all the jobs that you're applying for. You don't want to just take your resume and throw it in there. You want to take the parts of your resume that you need to put in there and leave off those personal identifiers. The second thing, because it's dangerous to you as well. You don't want people being able to put your name into some AI and all of your personal information, your children outside playing. You don't want people showing up. Okay. This is a really dangerous world. In addition to that, you have something called deep fake. And so the more information that you put about yourself on this, and I mean, this is the internet, period, but in AI, people can pick up certain things about you. And because of the predictive and analytics, and because it's picking up from different places, even social media, like it's pulling from everything that's public about you. People can really take your identity. So you definitely want to be very careful about not putting personal identifying information out there. That is the importance of it, to protect yourself and to protect your family and to protect your personal and professional brand as well.
Yeah, great point. And I think too, we had, this is the last session of the Liberal Arts Week, and earlier on in the week, there was an employer who really recommended Googling yourself. And I think this kind of goes in hand because it used to be this kind of cute, fun game, like, oh, let me Google myself and see what pops up. And it is still cute and fun and funny, but there is also much more serious ramifications than what there was, when I think I was 7 the first time I accessed the internet. So it's changed a lot since then. Just kind of being cognizant of that, I think, is a really great idea.
Yeah.
Love that. Well, I
To
will
teach your
do,
children.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, the world has changed so much. So, yeah, love that call out. I will do a last call for questions. We've got a couple minutes to go. I do have a wrap up slide and some wrap up information I'll share with everyone, but this is the last call for any last questions. And to Sonia and Jen, I'll give you guys an option as well. Are there any last little tips or tricks or nuggets that you want to share with everyone today?
I think it would be nice to hear from them, hear from the audience on their experiences today and if this was helpful. So, is there a link to surveys or anything like that we can send out to them?
Yeah, that'll be the last slide that I'll share here in a second.
Awesome.
I would love to close this session by saying, as a career advisor, each one of you is a unique experience and you're going to have unique needs and different ways that we're going to work together towards that common goal for you. Some of my students come to me and, my writers, a lot of my writers want nothing to do with anything AI because they want their everything to be authentic and they're very worried about that, right? And so every student is a unique experience for me and for my team. So if you want to learn more about how to use AI in your career search, I'm here for it. If you want to learn more about other types of resources, Google, etc. But each one of you is unique in your career and academic journeys with us. And our job is to meet you where you're at. So everyone's going to have different needs and different wants, and we're going to meet those wherever we can. I love to use AI with students, but I never would push it on you. And I definitely work in it with my students. Like we share screens, we're doing it together. So career services, I think, is an amazing opportunity for you to learn not just about the career search process, but how to use these types of technology tools and how to dig around on Career 360 for all the resources that are there that you may not even know of. I found a video of me on Career 360 that I didn't know was on there. So it's like this treasure trove of stuff, and it's constantly updating. Our team works so hard, our Career 360 team. So it's constantly updating. There's new information, updated information. So I would say make Career 360 and career services part of your SNHU experience.
Love that. That is an amazing summary. And with that, I'm going to briefly pull up this last slide for everyone. And if you can let my slides load, here we go. Perfect. If you can go ahead and click on the link here on the slide. Again, this is PowerPoint Live, so you are able to actually click and access the link. It is also being shared in the chat, so thank you very much to Kendall. But we really appreciate you attending, and we would love to know what you thought about today's session, what went well, what we can improve, what other conversations you might want to see in the future, because as Connor said, AI is not going away. So if you want to hear more about it, then let us know, and we can go ahead and take that as well. So as a reminder, this event has been recorded and the recording will be uploaded to the SNHU Career YouTube channel within the next day or two, tomorrow afternoon at the latest. So definitely keep an eye out for the recording. Other than that,
Someday you might find it on Career 360.
Yeah, you never know. Honestly, it might wind up on there because that's definitely a possibility. Other than that, though, we really appreciate you guys spending your Thursday afternoon with us, and we wish you a great rest of your week and a great weekend. And again, thank you for attending the session, and we will see y'all next time.
Call your
Thanks,
career
everyone.
advisor.
Nicole, I see you mentioned the drawing in the chat. FYI, we're going to draw that after the event, and we'll post the results in the chat, and we'll email out to the winner as well. Just FYI.